So, I wanted to beat hardcore in TDS, except I wanted to do it with randoms. Oh god. But wait. Before I start, let me talk about the towers I mainly used. I, of course, used farms. These gave me money to get some towers in the mid-game. And, as you will see, I really needed that money. I of course brang accelerator. We desperately need some high DPS for the boss. I also brang mortar for the hordes of zombies on wave 50 and 45. I also brang pursuit for some extra DPS and stun immunity. The last tower varied throughout the games, though they were mainly supported by towers, as you will see. I had all my accelerators maxed by wave 47, which was very early. This basically let me steal all of my teammates' eco, and they both had accelerators too. And at wave 49, I had nearly all my pursuits maxed. I also placed some bait trappers so the Vindicators would target them rather than the accelerators. By the time Void Boy came out, I was already at 330k. My teammates didn't even have max accelerators. We got Void Boy to 600,000 really late on the track. And soon I was microing like crazy, even though our chances of winning were nearly zero. He entered his Death Wish phase, conveniently summoned, and entered our base with just over 90,000 health. Next run, however, I brung Commander instead of Trapper. Someone else also had Commander, however, and there was no DJ. I also didn't have as much eco as last time. Void Boy went into rage mode slightly earlier than in my other game. I didn't think much of it though, as swarmers would keep stacking. I also microed Commander. However, I was proved that even with Swarmer, I couldn't win as I died. I was then bored and tried to solo for Seasons Hardcore. I died though, because the placements were pretty trash. And then I tried on Wrecked Battlefield, but Void Reaver just kept stomping over and over and over again. I died again, for the 4th time in a row. I then died using Merc Base due to bad RNG, again. I was now back to playing with randoms, and my eco wasn't as crazy as the other times. We also had Medic and loads of accelerators and mortar. Void Reaver entered rage mode way earlier than my first attempt. He also went into Death Wish way earlier too. Soon after that, he was defeated. I then did another round because I felt like it. I also brung Freezer to slow down the boss and to bait those Vindicators. We were missing something big, however, Medic. This meant that Vindicators and Void Reaver had free reign on all of our towers. I did place some bait freezers which were very effective, but Vindicators still targeted the accelerators. I also made a mistake and forgot to move my 5th Pursuit's patrol zone. We died with a little over 20,000 health. We blamed it on Freezer. Next round, however, we were on Wrecked Battlefield. I also brung Mercenary Base instead of Pursuit, because if I had some insane eco, I could micro later. you decided to skip, here's a summary of what happened. Bro entered his rage mode really early. He stomped and wiped out all of my riflemen. I also microed Freezer whenever he stomped. I then decided to micro Mercenary Base as I had 300k. Soon after that, the boss died. I also talked about the concerns of someone's farming. If you know, you know. I also left a max farm for some reason. I made a joke that it was the reason we won. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video.